Well, today we want to talk about the case that was brought over to us by the very pissed NFCU member. So basically, the thing is that he applied for a business membership for the third time and he got denied. So the thing is, he's really pissed right now. And he said, "This is outrageous. I've been a member for 18 years. The business is solid." So we are going to dig a little deeper to know what really happened, okay, and why his NFCU business membership was denied for the third time in a row. Don't you go anywhere. You're going to love today's conversation. I guarantee it.
One in a million, one in a million, one in a million. You know they're coming up to me, cause I'm just the kind of flower that's stinging in the beat, but the rhythms getting higher. Go, 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 go. One in a million, one in a million, one in a million, one in a million, one in a million.
Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sweaty Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous, if you already asked me. If you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee, or tea, or vodka, and let's roll. In today's conversation, we had a case that was brought over to us by a viewer who said that his NFCU business membership was denied for the third time in a row. And he said, "This is outrageous. What the F? I've been a member for 18 years and the business is solid." So what's really going on here? Folks, I'm going to summarize the case for you. We have had a series of exchanges with this viewer, but I'm going to summarize things for you so you can understand what we are really talking about. So his name is Trent, and I'm not going to divulge the last name. He's a 52-year-old male, and he owns a printing shop. And the shop has been in operations for 25 years. Okay, 25 years. That's a lot of years. And the last 3 years, he has had losses. So the average loss for the last 3 years was $18,000. So basically, for 22 years, he has been profitable or been, breaking even. But for the last 3 years, he has started having losses. And his average revenue in the last 5 years, the average annual revenue for the last 5 years was $375,000. I'm just giving all the numbers so we are all on the same page in terms of the quantitative analysis and the qualitative analysis here, okay? And he lives in good old Oklahoma City. We love Oklahoma City. Shout out to all my peeps in Oklahoma City. And so Trent actually is married, has 5 children, and he has 2 NFCU credit cards right now and 1 loan that is open. So this is what it is. But those loans are on the personal side. Okay. So, and he told us also via email that his wife is also she's also a Navy Fed member. Okay. So this is the situation, folks. I really want everybody to have a clear understanding of what the situation is. So basically, he has been a member for 18 years and his business is solid based on whatever he said to us. And, but he has had losses for the last 3 years. He cannot have his business membership approved by Navy Fed. What's really going on here? Let's dig deeper. First things first, Trent, you are probably listening to me right now. The thing is, you said in your via emails and in our conversations with you, not a conversation, but in our chat with you, that your business is solid. What does it really mean? Because when you talk about my business is solid, do you mean the business is profitable? Because the business, very frankly, is not profitable. For the last 3 years, you have been running losses. What's really happening inside the business? Talk to me about that. So what is it, because it's profitable, or the business has a strong reputation in the community? Because the word solid really is not really answering any question. We need numbers. We need you to tell us exactly what's really going on, Trent. So you said that you have had business losses for the last 3 years. My question to you here, Trent, is, and you got to really answer me directly, and you can answer me in the comment section of this video rather, or you can email us if you don't want your personal business to be aired. We are fine with both options. Okay, we have a team that will handle your email, but if you we also have a team that will handle your question here. So my question to you is your business struggling right now? This is a very important question because everything will start from there. Because there are consequences if your business is struggling. There are some deleterious, some negative consequences that you have to deal with. So, what is really causing the losses? Another question I have for you is, what is your business credit score like? Do you have a business credit score? I think you do. If you have been in operation for 25 years, you definitely have a Paydex, you have an Experian score, an Equifax score, and you probably have some records in the SBFE. SBFE stands for Small Business Financial Exchange. But the reason why I'm actually bringing those things to you because, Trent, the thing is, NFCU has access to a larger catalog of data, a larger reams of data that you don't have access to. So they must be seeing something that you are not seeing. Because you're probably thinking, my business is solid. I have strong financials. Your financials are not strong anyway. I mean, I think you need to quit saying that because you've been saying, my business is solid, whatever. Yeah, but your financials are not solid. If you have been losing money for the last 3 years, do you want me to base my decision on the earlier 22 years where you were profitable or breaking even, or you want me to base my decision on the last 3 years where you have been losing money? I mean, NavyFed is a business. They need to manage risk. They need to cover their ass. Okay. So what is are you compliant with state laws? In other words, do you have a certificate of good standing? What about annual reporting? So I want to talk about those ancillary things, those secondary things, because you are just telling us, yeah, my business is solid, but what about compliance? Are you current? This is really important. And is it a one person owned business or multiple member owned business? Are you an LLC? Are you an S corporation, C corporation? So we want to have a clear idea about the membership of your business. This has a quintessential impact on your business membership application through NFCU. A lot of the questions I'm asking, Trent, I just want to say you can answer us back via email because this will help the analysis. But I'm asking those questions because when you want to do a holistic analysis of the case, you have to look at multiple avenues here. And you want to be really careful here. Be careful, Trent. Be careful. Why? What about your personal FICO score? I mean, obviously, you haven't told us anything about your personal FICO score. The business has been actually incurring losses, okay? Assuming that your wife is making money, that means that she's the one actually feeding the family or putting food on the table right now, or whatever. Unless you have a strong emergency fund. So what about your personal FICO score? Are you in the 600, 700, 800? Good, because NavyFed will actually look at a constellation of factors before approving your business membership. They look at your personal score, they look at your business score, they look at your business fundamentals, they look at your personal fundamentals, financially speaking, of course, they look at your operational effectiveness, they look at a constellation of things. So what about your NavyFed internal score? Those are things I really want you to pay attention to, because if you're just telling us, hey, listen, they just denied my ass for the third time, okay, they deny your ass because there are other elements. There are other things that you are not probably thinking about, but they are thinking about. Because again, as I said before, NavyFed, they dig deep. They really are. They go very granular. Believe me, we've been with them for 30 years, more than 30 years. So they dig very, very deep. The level of granularity that NavyFed actually exercises is really, really unimaginable. But you know what? That's why they are the best. And my question to you is, what about your overall personal financial situation? Okay, what about your current standing with NFCU? Are you a good member? I'm talking about on the personal side of things. Okay, you said your wife is also an NFCU member. Okay, is she in good standing also? Talk to us about that. And what about your MPR, your multi-product relationship? In other words, your NavyFed banking relationship. Is it positive? Do you have a lot of accounts? Do you have a savings account? Do you have a personal account? Savings account, checking accounts? Do you have a diversity of accounts? Or you just probably have one or two accounts? Those are really important because you have a business all those years. Where did you park the cash? You probably have another business account at another bank. But the question is, why did you not think about moving some of your cash, some of your business cash when times were good. When you were running profits. Because now you are running losses. That's when you want to become a business member through a Navy Fed. Here are our solutions. So solution idea number 1, Trent, you really want to think about making sure that you have the right business entity. The next time you apply, be very careful about the type of entity that you actually enter. First of all, you have to, they do require, I think you know this already, you got to pay the $250, the deposit requirements. Okay, so that's about $250 for sole proprietorships and $255 for all separate legal entities. We're speaking about LLCs, companies, and corporations. And now you haven't told us your legal structure, but it's okay. But what I'm trying to say here is that make sure that you are very methodical in following the documents required by the business type that you have. They're different, whether you are a sole proprietorship, a general partnership, a limited partnership, a corporation, or an LLC. Navy Fed has different rules for all kinds of legal structures. So please be very careful and methodical in choosing the right. For example, if you are a sole proprietorship, which I don't think you are, you will need only your EIN and your valid business license, business permits, or fictitious name certificate. If you're an LLC, which I think you might be, you will need a good standing certificate. Okay, and this must be filed stamped within 60 days before the date of application. 60 days. Those are things I want you to do. You need to have an EIN, a beneficial owner form, and a fictitious name certificate. And the thing here you have to understand here is that for a Navy Fed, a good standing certificate is very, very, very important. I think that's where your problem is. You do not have a good standing certificate, or you haven't tried to look for one. It's also called sometimes certificate of good standing. Okay, good standing certificate, sometimes they call it certificate of existence. So this basically means that you are telling Navy Fed that you exist. So the state where you are located believes that you exist because you are in Oklahoma. So the government of Oklahoma believes that you are, ascertains, they confirm that you exist. This is an important piece of documentation that you need to have. You need to also have your NICS, the right NICS, and NAICS code. Okay, make sure, because this is how Navy Fed actually categorize risks. They actually analyze risk by sector. Okay, so the first thing I want you to do, be very clear about your legal structure. Make sure you provide your certificate of good standing. Make sure that you choose the right NICS code for your business. Solution idea number 2 actually is a continuation of the first part. What you want to do here is you want to gather right now. Don't do this tomorrow. I want you to do it right now. Okay, Trent, I want you right now to gather your personal tax returns for the last 2 years. Again, I am assuming that you are the only owner of this business, but if you're not, you need to gather the personal returns for all owners, guarantors. Because remember, Navy Fed wants to have a holistic view. They want to have an overall view about anybody have an investment, having a stake in the business. So if your wife is a co-owner, you need to actually show the joint tax return that you guys have filed. Okay, or if you have filed, married, filing separately, you need to provide whatever you have to provide. Please provide that. So personal tax returns. You need to provide your personal financial statements. So here we are speaking about your balance sheet. So it's also called statement of financial position, right? This is the report, the accounting report that shows your assets, whatever you own, or what you own. That's assets. Your liabilities, whatever you owe, and that so that Navy Fed can see your net worth. Your net worth is your total assets minus your total liabilities, and hopefully your numbers are positive. So that's balance sheet. You also need to provide your income statement. So the P&L is also called the P&L. So the P&L is basically the accounting report that shows your revenue items on one side and your expense items on the other side. So when you subtract your expenses from your revenue, you get your net income. Again, hopefully it is positive, because otherwise it's a loss. And in some cases, Navy Fed wants to see also your statement of cash flows. In other words, they want to see your liquidity movements, your in and out, your in and out, in and out, in and out. And this is really important also. Again, this is assuming that you are the only owner. If you are multiple owners, you need to provide those documents for all owners and guarantors. And they will also want to see a personal guarantee. You need to write and sign a personal guarantee for Navy Fed to actually file in their system. And they will also do a personal credit check. So make sure before you actually fill out the form that your credit score and your credit report, everything is fine for you personally, but also for all the members, for all the owners of your company. Very important. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another session of the Awesome Sudi Kiwi Show. We are still having a conversation about Trent. He's a 52-year-old male. He owns a printing shop. He's been in operation for 25 years. In the last 3 years, he has had his company has had a average loss of $18,000, and he's just pissed because Navy Fed is denying his business membership over and over and over. This is the third time. And the thing here is that we are trying to give him solutions. So here is solution idea number 3. You know, Trent, the thing you probably don't want to hear, and a lot of folks don't want to hear this, but you need to have a business plan. So you need to have a certificate of good standing, something that ascertains to Navy Fed that you do exist, your business does exist, but you got to have a business plan. Why? Because your business plan is more prospective in nature. It tells Navy Fed that you are in it for the long haul. You're not really just playing around, because if they open your business account, they want to make sure, or if they approve your business membership, they want to make sure that you are a solid business that's going to be around for a while. Okay. So please include a business plan, and please do not actually go on the internet. I've said this several times. Some people don't like it, but you know what? Let the chips fall where they may after I said it. Do not go on the internet and download a cheap ass business plan template and come and just customize it and just say, this is it. I have my business plan. Do not do this. A lot of folks do it. A lot of viewers who email us, they do it. And they show us business plan. And when we start reading their business plan, we're like, wow, what the F? What really is, are we for real here? You are trying to get a business membership in a very prestigious institution such as Navy Fed, and you're not willing to spend $200 rather. I mean, I'm just talking about euros because we spoke earlier about a company that was based in the States but was actually selling in Europe. But my point is, you are making $375,000. That's average annual revenue, and you cannot spend $200 for a business plan. Please do it. So have a solid business plan. You want to have financial statements also, balance sheet, profit and loss, your accounts receivable, accounts payable, agent reports, debt schedule. Those are things that Navy Fed wants to see. When you apply for a business membership, they want to actually check your business's financial stability. Very important. And again, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, you want to outsource the whole thing. You basically want to outsource the whole thing. You want to have a CPA, or you want to have an accountant, a senior accountant, or someone actually take care of those things for you. Solution idea number 4. Trent, I know you were still around because you promised to actually follow all the advice till the end. The thing here is that you got to really think about, you want to go back to the business membership application, the application form. You want to read everything and you want to complete it. Now, one thing I want to tell you here is, before you submit, please, you want to contact Navy Fed. I don't know if they have a branch we couldn't find a branch in Oklahoma, but you can contact them via phone and ask if there's anything else. The good thing is you can also apply online. Yeah, and you can save it as a draft. In other words, when you log into your personal dashboard, your personal account dashboard, you can actually you will see the link to apply for a business membership. Okay, so you always want to actually use all the tools available to make sure that you actually review everything before submitting, before hitting the submit button. Okay, for example, they want to see your business tax returns under existing ownership for the most 2 recent years. Okay, so your business tax returns will depend on the legal structure of your business, and it's pretty. This is why I was just asking you earlier to give us the legal structure. So, if you are an LLC and you file as a partnership, you are going to have a 1065. If you are an LLC filing as an S corp, you will have to file S corp. You have to file a Form 1120S. If you are an LLC filing as a C corporation, as a corporation, you will have to file Form 1120. So those are things you have to be mindful of, because NavyFed is going to check that. They have a whole team that does that all day long. They are good at it. And they might ask you also to provide proof of collateral in case you might want to borrow. You might want to have a business line of credit in the future. Okay. And so the whole thing here is that what I'm trying to say here is that you want to beef up your business membership application, and don't submit right away. If you cannot go to a branch, you want to be on the phone with a rep, ask for his or her guidance, or you want to save everything and just do not submit the application in one sitting. Just complete it at your normal pace. Take your time, but you do have 7 days to complete the application, but take your time to review everything. Okay, so the most important thing is we suspect that you have been denied because you don't have a certificate of good standing, or something is going on in your personal life. In other words, your FICO score is low, or something going on, and because NavyFed is looking at the last 3 years where you have been losing money like crazy. They're just asking what's really happening here, but they do not actually go as far as denying your business membership because you are losing money. There must be something else. So this is it. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. And we invite our beloved viewers. You guys are very smart. You guys are very intelligent. Please contribute to the discussion so that Trent can find a solution to his problem. If anything similar happened to you before, or has anything happened to somebody in your circle, please comment below. Let us know so that overall we can have the solution, the right solution for Trent. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. God bless you. I'll see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.